Hi everyone, it's Jeanette. I wanted to come on and talk to you face to face today because we are coming out with a new product called the Self-Achievement Awards. I am definitely motivated by stickers, and I know you're all planners out there. You get it. I don't have to explain it to you. We decided to make the Self-Achievement Awards for people to use for motivation for whatever they need to do. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to use it this month. It'll be available July 5th with Trash Panda, so keep an eye out for that. This morning my husband and I went to the driving range and hit some golf balls. He's a good golfer. I am not a good golfer, but I did okay today. Then we had some breakfast, and then I decided to come outside and film because I think natural light is going to be better. I do most of my filming down in the basement where it is dark and dingy. And it's really nice out and it's gonna get hot. Hopefully everybody out there is doing well with all of the heat. I know Melissa's in Arkansas and it's been like over 100 there. She is going to be coming back to Colorado in a few weeks, kind of end of July, for a couple of things. We're gonna work on Advent. My birthday's the end of July, so that'll be fun. I'm also going to start a YouTube channel, not necessarily like to consistently do things, but to be able to have longer videos. So I think I'm gonna put little short reels or shorter reels on Instagram, and then if you want to just watch a whole video of me, doing whatever I'm doing and talking, you can go to YouTube. So yeah, let's get into it. So here is what I'm working with. I am using my Hobonichi Cousin A5 with the Tomoe River paper, and I already got my title here. So at first I had goals, and then I was like, oh, I don't want to say goals because then that's too much pressure. So then I changed it to intentions, and I was like, I still feel like that's too much pressure. So I decided to call this page Procrastination Friendly Objectives to try to keep me on task but without too much pressure. And then I did put here like my high level goals: so drink more water, be more active, and then prioritize self-care. And as we all know, like real vague goals like this generally don't work. So then I'm going to use this kit, and I'm going to use each of the shelves as 1 week, and then I'm going to put the little bullets and put an achievable, like measurable goal for each week. And then if I achieve it in that week, then I can put one of these little awards over on my shelf. So by the end of each week, there'll be 3 little awards on each shelf. And then by the end of the month, hopefully there'll be 3 awards on all of the shelves. And Melissa said that to make sure to tell everybody that it has to be something really good to give yourself the kitty award. So like the kitty awards are special. So maybe I'll save those for, actually maybe I will save the kitties, and then if I meet my goal for the whole month, then maybe I'll put like a kitty on the top. That could be cute. So we'll see. We'll have to see how it all works out. I think I'm going to do my title and everything first. So I've got my Tombow markers here. I'll show you. These are all the colors that we have in our shop, and all of them really go nicely with all of our kits. But for this kit in particular, I'm thinking, and actually I have where I've got them all. Where did I put that? Okay, I turned you off for a minute to find it. But so this is where I've got them all swatched out, which is kind of nice because they do look different. I mean, the cap looks different from what it looks like on the paper, and depending on what kind of paper you have, it can look different. So we are going to see, I definitely think this light sand, which is $9.90, is gonna be good. So I think that's this one. Yeah, we're gonna do $9.90. And then, I'm gonna say asparagus. Where is asparagus? There it is. So asparagus is $1.92. And then I want to pull in one of these pinky tones. I actually think, here, let me move it so you can see. I actually think I'm going to go with carnation. At first I thought dusty rose, but I feel like the carnation pulls this light pink out of this cup really nicely. So $7.61 carnation, and that's this one right here. I like to have 3 colors just to have things to work through, but yeah, I definitely think those are good options. They look nice. So now we're gonna flip back to my page. I don't always pencil in before, but because I was gonna be filming this, I wanted to pencil it in so I didn't mess up on camera. But I do mess up all the time, so I should probably just let myself mess up on camera. But okay, I'm just gonna go over, I kind of want this to be kind of rounded, so I'm using the brush tip and just going over my lines, and then I will probably come back over it with some black, depending. Yeah, because it kind of runs in together a little bit. So yeah, I'll probably pull some black over. And then I'm gonna use my Furanosuke. This is a hard tip, but this one's been around a while, so the hard tip isn't as hard as it used to be. We do have all of these colors in our shop, and we also sell these in our shop. These are really good for lettering. I think I am going to, maybe I'll do friendly in the pink, and then I'll do the objectives since it's more line work with the blacks. Let's try this. I'm gonna just, and then push harder. Very nice. And I am going to do objectives with the black. And I'm not gonna press very hard because I wanna, oh, there's a bug. I want it to be pretty thin, but this marker is nice because you can change how thick things are by how hard you push. And I am definitely not the artist of the family. Melissa is the artist, so bear with my rendition of lettering. And then I think for this part, I am going to do some outline. So I'm gonna make it kind of bubbly like that. The nice thing is, it's my journal, so it can be whatever I want it to be, and nobody needs to look at it but me. You may be able to hear people in the background. My neighbors are outside. I think somebody's moving, so they're packing up. 'Tis the season. We live in a military area, so summertime is when everybody moves, so we get new neighbors and old neighbors leave. It's exciting. That used to be us. My husband's retired, so we used to move all the time. But now we get to stay in one place and just watch everybody else move all the time. All right, so I think my letters got a little smaller as I went, but okay, I like that. Now it's time for the stickers. Down here are the little dots. We did this based on when we were at Go Wild. They were talking about like goal setting and productivity and things, and to think about it like red light, green light, yellow light, like what's the most important, what's kind of important, and then what is like, you know, okay, maybe if you want to get it done. So that's why we have these down here, and that's why they're the colors that they are. Red is like important. Hey, look at this. Yellow is like next important, and green. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prioritize my big goals by like, what do I really, really, really want to focus on this month? Because sometimes it's hard to focus on more than one thing at a time. And I also didn't bring any tweezers out. So hold on, let me go get some tweezers. I'm back and I brought tweezers. And I also changed one of the camera settings, so things might look a little bit different, hopefully better different. All right, so now we need to decide what's going to be most important. And honestly, I really, even though they're not in the right order, I think I want Be More Active to be the most important, mainly because I feel motivated. Like, I've been motivated to be more active lately. I want to capitalize on that. I'm gonna make that one red for like most important. And you can also switch it up. Your brain might be like, ooh, green, it seems most important to me, or yellow is my favorite color and that seems most important to me. Or you can use other little like zig dots or something like that. Okay, so then the next one is gonna be drink more water. And I think I'm picking that one as my next one because I think it's doable. I think it'll be a relatively easy win. Okay, so then that means prioritize self-care is going to be like self-care if I have time, which is, probably defeats the purpose, but we are going to go with it because I definitely want to make sure that I'm focusing on the things that are the most important. So we're going to say, we're going to say drink more water is going to be yellow. Red for me is going to be most important. Yellow is going to be next most important, and then green is going to be like, if you have the bandwidth, focus on that too. I love being outside, but the wind is probably going to drive me crazy. So I'm going to set my unicorn marker holder to keep my paper down. Next time I'll bring clips. Now we need to get our shelf down. I want to put my shelf a little bit over here so that I have room to write, so I can put my goals next to it, and then I can also write some notes if I want to. And you do want to be careful when you're pulling these off, especially when they're bigger stickers. They are vinyl, so they can rip. So when you get to like an edge, that's like the most likely place where it could potentially rip, so you want to kind of be careful there. And then we're just going to peel off. I'm going to use probably this bottom line to line it up because I don't want my bookcase to be crooked and then things will fall off of it. So perfect, there's that. And this paper is great for writing on, so if you wanted to use this for something else, write something on it or draw your own things on it, the sticker paper works really good. You can even use the Tombow markers on it as well, and it's not smudgy. Okay, let me straighten this out. This is going to be week 1 for me, so I'm going to plan out what my goals are for the first week of July. And then I'm going to correspond what's down here with my main goals up here. Most important thing I'm going to put first. So I'm going to put that right there. And then I'm going to put the yellow next because that's my next most important. And then a green one. I really do intend to work on all of these every time, but I like having the option to focus on one and kind of let another one go, and making that plan ahead of time so I don't run the risk of just not doing the one that I'm least excited about. Okay, so this is where it's important to actually think about what I want to do this week. On my main goal, I just said be more active. Here, I'm going to be very specific, and I want to make it, you've probably heard of SMART goals. So, I don't really remember what that stands for. Anyway, you want to make it like doable. You want to give yourself specific, measurable, achievable, reasonable, and timely, I think are them. But so I think for this week, I am going to say to run or at least get out on the trail 3 times this week. And that's definitely doable because it is a holiday week and I have a couple of days off work. I'm going to say run, but you know, sometimes run ends up like run walk. So I'm gonna say run 3 times for my be more active goal. And then for my drink more water, I've already been thinking about this. I am going to drink like a full 8 ounces of water, like first thing when I get up in the morning. I brush my teeth in the morning. So I'm just gonna drink a whole 8 ounces of water like after I brush my teeth. And I really think I can do that. But I'm gonna say 5. So we're gonna say drink 8 ounces of water in the AM 5 times. That way, if I miss a day or two, because again, it's a holiday, so things might be off, I can still give myself my award. Okay, so the next one is prioritize self-care. This one is harder for me because I'm very busy and a lot of what I do I enjoy, but it's not really self-care. What I think of as self-care is like taking a bath or maybe putting on makeup because I don't always do that, or taking a nap. So I'm just gonna be a little bit, I'm gonna be a little bit vague and say, it's getting windy. I'm just gonna say self-care, something self-care 3 times this week. And I suspect that that's not going to be specific enough because I'm going to try to, you know, make something that isn't really self-care into self-care, but we'll see how it works. We can always regroup next week. The next thing that I want to do is I want to decorate a little bit. We've only got a couple things because we didn't know if people were going to want to decorate their shelves. So I don't want to put anything actually on the shelves because I want to have room for all of my awards. Maybe if I don't fill up all the awards, then I can fill it in with something else. But I think I'm going to put my little plant up here on the top, and maybe save the books. Maybe the books will go if I don't fill up my shelves, I'll be able to put a book there. Ooh, the teacup. Ooh, the teacup would look really cute sitting here like on this little shelf part. But again, I will wait until later to decide about that. I think I'm just going to put my plant right there. Don't want to forget to water her. I do like plants. I have quite a few plants in my little relax room. Okay, so, I mean, that's it. Now we just need to get the week started and see how we do. Use this however you want to use it. This is going to work for me. And you don't even have to use it for goals. You can use it for other things too. I think this would be really good for kids, and or if you're really trying to change a habit. I have found that giving myself stickers really motivates me. Like when I go back and look and I'm missing a sticker, it motivates me like to want to make sure I don't miss a sticker the next time. Here, I'm going to turn you around to say goodbye. Hold on just a second. Definitely let me know if you like this sort of more like chatty situation, because I can definitely do it more. I will probably get better at it as I go. I realized I didn't actually say bye or anything, but I did want to report that I think that the goal setting is already working, because just as soon as I finished that, I got dressed up in my running clothes and I'm going to go running, hopefully before it rains. So hopefully you guys all have a great holiday weekend. And don't forget, hit us up at daisychainrebellion.com on Saturday for our release. Bye.